Hello again. Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana's midterm budget speech in the next 10 minutes or so is expected to touch on the country's youth unemployment crisis. According to Project Lead SA, at Youth Capital, over 9.3 million youth are currently not in education, employment or training. Let's talk about this with Kristal Duncan Williams, Project Lead at Youth Capital. Good to have you with us, Kristal, today. And as we come to you, we're looking at pictures just now of the likes of Minister Gwede arriving for this medium-term budget speech. And as they arrive, as an organization that works with young people, what would be the easiest ways for government to very quickly respond to the youth unemployment crisis?
So I think there are no easy wins, unfortunately, but I think what we're going to be keeping our eyes on in the next few minutes with the medium-term budget speech, and I think what young people want to hear about, top of mind, the two big things are the SRD grant and the continuation thereof, because we know that it costs young people around R1,000 a month to look for work. And so something like an SRD grant, if it continues even in the shape of a young job seekers grant, can really break down barriers for young people who are trying to look for work and at least become economically productive. And then the second thing that's really top of mind for young people is all the money that's been pumped into the presidential employment stimulus, which has led to the creation of, the president just announced recently 1 million short-term work opportunities, many of which are for young people in the Basic Education Employment Initiative. And so we'd like to, I think, hear where the budget is going in that regard, because those programs have the potential to have real impact for young people by giving them much needed work experience. But we really need to think about, if we're investing these billions into these programs, how do we get a great return on our investment, making sure that young people are trained and mentored and that the budget allows for some kind of training and mentorship for young people in these roles so that they are equipped to take a next step to either study further or find other employment when these short-term employment opportunities end. Just
on the idea of a job seekers grant, you've made this call before. I wonder how likely you think we'll get that when government has so far not even been able to commit to an unemployment grant permanently for the poorest among us, only saying it'll extend that 350 SRD grant to early 2023.
It's all kind of related, right? So without an economic environment in which businesses can thrive, businesses are not in a place to hire young people, and therefore young people remain unemployed, and so the cycle continues. So I think we really need a little bit of everything. Eskom is another big thing that I think is top of mind, and what government is going to be talking about and where the money is going to go to fix the problems at Eskom, because it really affects young people beyond just businesses not being able to thrive in this kind of environment and therefore not being able to hire young people. It also affects, matrics are busy writing their final exams, and schools are worried about whether there's going to be load shedding while they need to do, they need to use computers for the IT exam. So these are the kinds of problems that young people are facing right at school level, before they've even stepped out into the world to try to, find a way to earn a living. And so the government really needs to fix these broader systemic issues to create an economy in which job creation is actually possible, because until we do that, there isn't going to be money, as you say, to provide grants for people who are unemployed.
So the young people who've tried to sort of make their own fortune elsewhere are saying what's difficult at the moment, two things. On the energy front, electricity is expensive, A. B, it's not always guaranteed that they'll be able to power their businesses for a full 8-hour workday.
Exactly. And then, you hear about businesses who maybe are fortunate enough to buy a generator, but now you've got to factor in the cost of diesel, which is, an unseen cost. And so, I just overheard somebody the other day saying, they're a baker, small baker, one-man, woman kind of show, and they're unable to provide baked goods to shops because the load shedding is just so bad. And so, even as you say, for young people who manage to create some kind of business opportunity for themselves, this is the environment in which they are struggling to survive and to thrive. And if these small businesses don't survive and don't grow, where are we going to create all of these jobs that we need as a country?
Right. Kristal, we'll have another word with you later after the budget to get your reaction to what will actually be announced by Minister Enoch Godongwana. Let's go